Give me a sec. All right. Yeah, Madhu, go ahead, please.
Good morning. There was a fragrance around for some time when I was meditating. Didn't last very long,
Excellent.
but it was there. And then there was like a flame. That was also just for a few seconds, I think. And that was it. Otherwise, it was good.
That's good. They're getting good visions and very good visual experiences. It's a great encouragement for us to do. When we are doing meditation, if we get such kind of experiences, that's a great inspiration. So yes, when you go to certain energy frequencies, you do get fragrances, you do sense view, like something like elements like fire, air, or things like that. Slowly, as a next step, what you do is, in that experience, it is very it's going to be new practice. When you get such kind of experiences, slowly question yourself, okay, what does it mean to me? Okay, what does this fragrance mean to me? What does this just pose a question. You don't answer anything. It's not like you don't predefine any answer. Okay, so you will see the difference between when your mind talking and when you are actually experiencing something on its own. So just pose a question and then again sit back. So see if you get an answer. Okay, see if you can perceive an answer, and then we'll talk more. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Anyone else has anything? Okay, beautiful. We'll start our talk today. Lost is what the name I have, the title I have given to today's talk. It's going to be a short talk, hopefully. Not many questions then. So before getting to this word lost, so I would like to derive everything today from a small story, which was narrated by, as I read somewhere, it was narrated by Ramana Maharshi in India. So I'll start with that story, and then I have read this story many years back, but thing is, so very influential story that keeps me question myself always. So there were once upon a time there were 10 foolish men. So it's called out early in the story. So this all the 10 people, all these 10 men were foolish. So there were 10 foolish men who wanted to cross a river to go to the other side for their whatever the business that they wanted to do. So they wanted to cross this river. Okay, and all the 10 were foolish. So these 10 fools started to cross the river, and then they were swimming, very high tide, and then they swam along, and they were very good swimmers. Even though they were fools, they were very good swimmers. So they swam across the river and then crossed to the other side. But thing is, they got a doubt. Do we have everyone in our group? So did we lose anyone? So they thought like, okay, how to do? Let's count. We were 10 before starting. So let's count if we are 10. Then they started counting. So the first one started counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the 10th one is missing. He counted everyone in front of him. And then he said, oh my God, we lost one. Who's that? The 10th one is missing. The second one said, hey, maybe you're not counting it right. Let me count. And he started counting as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the 10th one is missing. So they were very confused. So they thought, they know that one is missing, but who is that? So they start keep counting. One after the other, all the 10 men counted. And then they said, only 9. So there was one bypasser who was walking, and then they went to him and then said, see, we know we lost one in while swimming, but thing is we couldn't find who it is, because we are all here, but at the same time we are missing one in the count. We don't know who that is. Then the bypasser said, so how did you count? How many? The person said, we are 10, but we are only seeing 9. He said, how? Show me. So then this guy, one of the person from the group said, okay, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, there are only 9. I don't know who is the 10th one. And the bypasser said, let's do this. Let's count differently. All of you stand in line, and then the first one will say 1, and the second one will say 2. So you yourself tell your number, 1, 2, 3, like that. So then every time you count, I will give you a slap on your face. So you remember this. You remember that you have counted. You are done. No need to count anymore. So then they started counting. 1, slap. 2, the second guy slapped. 3, slap. So when they counted, there are 10 men. So they counted themselves. Each of them, they counted themselves. And then they got the right number. They got 10. Because till then, what they were doing is they were always counting other 9 people, but not them. They were always, all the 10 people, they stand in line, and then they say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But they never counted themselves. And they think someone is missing. So this bypasser made them count themselves. No one else, just themselves. And then immediately they found themselves, which even contributed to the count of everyone and the right count. Even though this is a simple story, even though this is a straightforward logic, in first place itself, he said there are 10 fools. So what does a fool do? He said, if they are, just because they're foolish doesn't mean that they don't have strength. They don't have any abilities. They swam across a high tide river. They were very good swimmers. See, they were talented. It's not that they're foolish in everything. In this story, they conveyed why they were foolish by saying how they have counted themselves after crossing the river. That made them, that proved them why they were called foolish, or why they were called fools in first place. So after crossing the river, they counted everyone but not them. That made these people fools. Made the narrator call them fools. Whoever has narrated. That means even in life, even in an everyday, whatever that we do, whatever that happens in our life, when we count on everything outside, but not just us, then we are nothing but fools. Because whatever that happens in our life has our role in it. And we have equal role in it. Just like each of the member, each of the count of each person there adds to the overall count of the people who swam across the river. So there were 10. Even if you miss counting one of it, then we are a fool. And our society, our situations and everything teaches us how to count things outside. We never go wrong. We never go wrong in it. We always count 110 things outside. Because we have been given that logical ability. For a normal human being, we have been given that logical ability to count everything outside. But to count ourselves in it, we have to cut this logic and come back to us. Otherwise, we're just lost. Every time we count everything outside, what is happening is we think that we find everything. We know everything. But thing is, we are lost. We are not counting ourselves in. We are not adding ourselves in. We are not taking responsibility of what is happening in our life. If there is a confusion, we are not part of it. If there is happiness, we are not part of it. If there is success, we are not part of it. If there is failure, we are not part of it. Because we are counting everything outside, but not us. If success, God's grace. If failure, blame someone who's right in front of you. And even in the spiritual journey, we read so many books, we listen to people, we keep on going here, there, jump everywhere, but not sit and meditate. Unless we sit and meditate, nothing else works. You read 100,000 books and not meditate, there is no point. You counted everything, but not you. This story can be implied to every aspect of spirituality. Every aspect of spirituality. Take anything. I can right now translate, and then tell how this can be adapted to every aspect of our life. We have to learn to count ourselves in, include ourselves in everything that is happening around. Spiritually, it could be sounding stupid, but even if some tsunami comes far away, we have to include ourselves in it. Because we are part of universe. If something is happening in the universe, that it is happening along with us. If we know something has happened somewhere, we have a relationship to it. I'm not asking you to go to that extent right now, but thing is, start counting yourself in to everything that is happening around you. That way, our aura expands, our energy expands, our awareness expands. Slowly, things around us will get into our control. That means our life will get into our control. You know why we don't have a direction or don't have control? Because we are not including or counting ourselves into everything. Oh, people say, oh, I don't have control on something. Some people are controlling me, and some relationships are controlling me, situations are controlling me. Everything is because you are not counting yourself in. If we don't take responsibility for whatever that is happening in our life, then there is no point. It's not in your control. If you take the responsibility for whatever that has happened, then you can correct it. You can absolutely correct it. Taking responsibility for whatever that is happening will make everything right. If you don't take the responsibility, you cannot. And thing is, so this can be applied to many, many aspects. I'm just counting on few. I want you to learn to imply this to everything. Am I counting myself in? Question yourself. Am I counting myself in? Keep questioning yourself. With the thoughts, for example, what we do is, let's say we overeat. Just as an example, like, foodie. We eat more than what we need. For example, what we do is, we read an article and then we do the fasting. And then we are doing a fasting, but we think about food. Oh, I should eat this, I should eat that, I should, make this. I'm missing that sweet. You keep on thinking about, but you're actually doing fasting. Is there any use in it? By forcing yourself doing something, it is not going to achieve whatever that you wanted to achieve unless you change it in thoughts as well. It's not going to be helpful. You're putting more stress on your system. You have to do everything willingly or control your thoughts. When I say control your thoughts, understand your thoughts, answer your thoughts, convince your mind, transform your mindset, and then do it. You cannot do anything forcibly. So, if you do everything that is told outside, oh, I'm fasting because some guru has asked me to do fasting once a week, and I'm drinking only water. So you're counting everything. You're counting the guru, you're counting the words, you're getting inspired, you're doing the fasting, doing everything. But thing is, your thoughts, you're not counting it. But that's the root of it. That's what you have to count on. That's yours. Everything else is outside. The inspiration coming from outside. What is good and what is bad is told by someone outside. So you have counted all of it. But what is yours? Yours is the thoughts. Yours is the mindset. We have to count that in. We have to take that into consideration. Without taking our thoughts into consideration, whatever that we do doesn't work. Sometimes we do some, prayers or puja or, some sort of a ritual. We do that ritual just for the sake of doing it because someone said, if you do this, it will happen. And you keep on doing that ritual. But thing is, you're doing everything outside, but you're not counting inside. If someone says, oh, if you do certain ritual, whatever you want will happen. For example, someone said, if that kind of formula really works, do you really think any human being will not do it? If there is such kind of formula, or if you be like this for 2 days, it will happen. Or if you be like this for 40 days, you'll get $1 million. Do you really think any human won't do it? They will do it, right? So if something that is counting outside is going to get you something, everyone will do it. Every human being, irrespective of religion and race, because end of the day, beyond religion and race, we all want few things. We all are looking to gain something or get something in life. It could be material, it could be immaterial, it could be anything, it could be relationship, whatever it is. We all want something. When we all want something, if there is such kind of a ritual which will work by listening to something and doing it, everyone will do it. Because that's easy. It's easy to count outside. What's not easy is counting ourselves in, including ourselves in it. Changing the mindset, changing the thought process, changing the program mind. That's where the key is in. The moment it comes to us, we run away. Usually we run away because we don't know how to handle ourselves. Why we don't know how to handle ourselves is because we have never learned. From the time of birth, we were kept so busy to look outside. You have a problem, go to someone. You have a problem, talk to someone. Are you happy, share with someone? Yes, they're all right. But thing is, we have to give the equal importance on how to rejoice this happiness, how to solve this problem. What's in me is contributing to this happiness and what's in me is contributing to this problem. What's in me is triggering any event in my life. Everything happens by a trigger in you. And what you see outside is a light. Imagine you are like a light. You are the light. But in this light, you see many things. Let's say you're in a dark room. Okay? Suddenly and in this dark room, you are the light. And then when you lit, till then, you don't know what is there around. And when there is light inside you, you will start seeing everything outside. But is that you? No. What is you? Light. So if you preserve this light, if you increase the lumens of this light, the more brighter the room and the world will be, and you will see many more things outside. And then you can experience many things outside. But thing is, if you don't focus on, nurturing this light inside you, then nothing outside will be visible. It will slowly diminish. So we have to count us in. We have to meditate more. And we have to start taking responsibility. What am I in this? What am I in this? What am I in this? Count yourself in. Or you're seeing some distressing content on a TV. So there's some tsunami or earthquake happen, and then somewhere something is happening. What am I in this? Or let me meditate for 1 hour and send my thoughts. That's what I can do right now. Okay, let me sit and meditate. So you're counting yourself in the universe. And the universe responds to you in a very grateful way. The more you give, the more you get. Double you get. So count yourself in everything. Never say, it's not my business. The moment you know something, bloody, it is your business. You are in there. The moment you know something, that means you are part of it already. If you ignore it, sometimes you may get locked in. Don't ignore, good or bad, I'm saying. If you become part of it, then what happens is you will have control over things. You can choose whether to be there or not. If you don't, then there's no control on life. If you want self-control, count yourself in, and don't be a fool. Don't be foolish by counting everything outside and not counting yourself. So that's today's short and sweet talk, I guess. So I wanted to tell this story and then wanted you to try it out really on, on counting yourself in on everything. So any questions to start with? Yeah, Madhu, go ahead, please.
So being aware every moment would be counting yourself in?
Absolutely, yes. Being aware in every moment is counting yourself in. If you are not aware, yes, you don't feel responsible. If you are aware, you will actually feel it. You will feel responsible. Another side of the coin, yes.
Okay. So we have to practice being aware every minute.
End of the day, yes. That's the goal. That's the goal of it.
And how much meditation should one do?
That's an amazing question. So how much meditation? See, this is again coming back to a question like a ritual. How many days should I fast to get something?
Yeah.
So meditation is relative. The practice of meditation is very relative, to be very frank, because some people may get to a right state very sooner, it may not take much time. For few people, it may take time. So that's why we should not measure the practice with time, because it's very relative. Let's say we have so much garbage in our home, so it will take time to clean up. If I have less dirt, then it takes lesser time for me to clean. But thing is, we have to clean. We have to start somewhere. Okay, so it depends on how much clutter that we have. So it may take, and how efficient we are in doing meditation as well. So
how do I?
Mhm.
Sorry.
Yes.
How do I know that I'm doing enough meditation?
How do you know that you're doing enough meditation is about self-satisfaction, is what I measure with. It's not about self-answering. I don't know what to say. Sometimes mind says, okay, good, you have done 1 hour of meditation today, really good. That's good enough. That's not it. The self-satisfaction comes from inside. It's not about you think and decide on it. It's about you know it. You don't have even a question about if I have done enough meditation today. You know it for good. You just get up fulfilled. Wow. And then that's it. You don't even think about it. Okay. You just go with, when you are full, you don't think about seeing how full I am. You know you are full.
Yeah.
So it's about getting that feeling of full. So when you have that feeling of full, that's it. There's no measure like 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. It's not about that. Even if it is 5 minutes, if you're full, you're full.
Yeah, but the mind keeps saying, oh, you haven't done enough.
This is the problem, right? The mind is a monkey. It jumps around. It will say, oh, if I have done enough meditation, it will say, no, you haven't. If you say, I haven't done enough meditation, then you say, you have done so much meditation. Okay, so it's logical. It's a contrary aspect. It always likes to contradict because it wants to think. So that's what. Don't worry about that contradiction. It keeps happening. So don't worry about it. The less importance that we give to such kind of judgments, the less you will be affected. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. And it is okay, even if, let's say, when mind says such kind of things, you haven't done enough meditation, you just say it's okay. It's okay also. Even if you don't want to do meditation one day, that it's okay. Just say it's okay. And then mind will keep trying to poke you, and then one day it'll vanish, saying, "Oh, he's not reacting. Leave it.
Mhm.
Leave him to meditation." So the more you let go of mind, the more mind will let go of you.
Yeah. That's the trick. Okay.
Uh,
Thank you.
Thank you, Mother. Anyone else has anything?
Hi, good morning, Leela. Yeah, very good morning to everyone. Nice and inspiring story. I like it. Yeah. Whatever happens in family or society or work, we tend to blame others. We tend to see the problems in others rather than our own self. That's absolutely true. I think once we start looking on ourselves, we see the problem, we see the solution rather than a problem, I guess.
Yes.
It reminded me one of the quote which Paramahamsa Yogananda also mentioned. Initial days, I struggled a lot. End of the day, just write about your own self, how it went on your day or whatever you achieved on the, like that. When I started initially, it was so hard for me to write about my own self. Then I realized that, oh my goodness, how mind is so easy to talk about others or other stuff, but it's very hard to accept our own self. That's true. Thank you. It's really inspiring.
Thank you. You're right. Absolutely. So when you try to write about yourself or think about yourself, sometimes it can be overwhelming. But thing is, if you write, cross that line and write about ourselves, you'll see many things, good and bad. All right. Thanks. Anyone else? That's really good. And I think that's quick and easy for this weekend. And yeah, Madhu, go ahead.
Yeah, I think today's the only day you had a short session.
Yes. Yeah, get more break than now. So that's good. And I'm thinking to start a kind of I was thinking